just be stuck. So
That was one thing I want to get into. You know, I turned on YouTube the other day, and there you go, off driving to the candy store, Bay Marine, and you seem so nonchalant. And, you know, they're just going to hook a trailer up to my truck, and we're going to put something on it. And how much did you know about that situation? And, like, just what an awesome experience that was, man. Like, I'm so happy when you're loading that on your trailer. I'm like, oh my God, this is cool.
man, I was freaking out and I was pretty much lost for words. And I think some of that might have even translated a little bit into it because I'm usually a pretty yacky guy, but I was a little bit lost for words when Dan was walking me around the unit and it kind of hit me. But how it all started was just basically, I'm good friends with some of the staff there, and we've had many conversations over the visits over the years. And I've expressed my want to review other units, right? Like do some reviews for even other manufacturers and such, and just get some units on the channel as fresh content and get an honest review from a blue collar kind of perspective rather than a paid sponsorship perspective. And we've had some breakthroughs with that. We've been talking to some manufacturers, and hopefully something will come of that. Been working very hard on it, but they kind of just called me up there, my buddy Dan, and said, listen, we'd like to help you out on what you're trying to get accomplished, and we think we could do that by getting you out one of our demo units. So I sort of had an idea as to what was going to happen and a small heads up, but I didn't really know what unit was going to be offered up and that whole situation. So man, I was kind of blown away, man. They blew me away. They blew me away, and those guys are just honestly, they're amazing. They're amazing folks to deal with. Glad to have them there, man. I'll be buying all my toys from Bay Marine. That's
Uh,
for sure. Yeah.
no kidding. Well,
But,
they just got you on the hook for another one there now with that X3.
you know it. They're smart. There's no way I'm going to be able to hand this thing back. It'd be like pry it from my dead fingers here, my cold fingers. But no, man. Yeah, man. They just sold me for sure. For sure.
So the other day we were just chatting there on Facebook about mods for it, and you know what kind of mods would you like to do? What's your first impression of that machine? Where does it lack? What would you like to improve?
Oh man, it's so hard to say that now because as a stock unit, it's unlike anything I've ever driven. You know what I mean? The clutching on it is completely different than what I've experienced from the Outlanders and the Renegades and such. Yeah, obviously we know it can benefit from clutching, and that would probably be definitely like we were talking about before in the first two or three things to do, right? Exhaust, you got to give that thing some sound, man. It is so quiet until you open it up, of course, because everything's right behind your head. So it's actually pretty loud. It's funny. The neighbors thought, wow, man, that thing's really quiet. And I was like, well, stock exhaust me crawling out of the neighborhood. Yeah, for sure. But the moment you get out in the field and you lay into it, I mean, you've got all that 172 right behind your head screaming. So it's to talk to the guy next to you, you're screaming, right? So but yeah, no, it definitely could go with an exhaust, some clutching, a reflash for sure, because that engine feels like it's being constrained, being held back. You know what I mean? It gets to 105, 110, wherever it caps out there so quick that I think that could be easily raised up to about 140. I don't know if the gearing comes into play, Jerry. You might know a little more about that. Um, how much you could push a unit like that in the top speed type of aspect.
Yeah,
You know more about transmission than I do.
I'm not sure of the actual what they're revving at when they're going that kind of speed, but as far as power is concerned, boost is king, baby.
Yeah, yeah, no kidding, eh?
So you throw a 5, 10 extra pounds boost at it, and you're sitting at over 200 horse pretty easy.
Yeah,
And yeah, man, they're serious machines.
yeah, they get really scary and out of control for sure when guys are talking about bringing them up to 400 horsepower and such. It's insanity. It's insanity.
Yeah.
You almost need wheelie bars at that rate, don't you?
Well, you're gonna need wheelie bars long before that. Yeah, for sure. I think I seen a picture of you from the weekend when you already had the wheels in the air. So
Yeah, we just threw that one